Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Say Report. I'm your host, Evan Decker, and joining me, it's my host companion, Sejan Sarowick. How you doing, Sejan?
I'm doing pretty good, Dev. Sorry, you made the Happy Gilmore reference before you hit record, but you know that somebody just got caught actually doing that, right?
What? No, what are you referring to?
Somebody just got kicked out of the fucking PGA Tour because he was paying some guy $100 to stand on the sideline and scream when other golfers were swinging.
You know what disappoints me about that? That is so I got this idea from Happy Gilmore. There's no other explanation for I'm going to hire somebody to scream when my competitor takes his shots.
Yeah. I gotta see if I can figure out who it was, because it was crazy that they caught some guy just paying people to scream at competitors.
Well,
how do you search for this? Golf news.
News.
Controversy.
Ooh, controversy. It's not going to be that thing about they're apparently cutting a tendon now. No, wait, that's Happy Gilmore as well. You know what? I was going to save this, but because of what you've brought up and while you search it up.
Oh, here it is. No, I should actually clarify this right here and right now.
Okay, please do.
It wasn't another golfer. It was fucking Jack Doherty. Do you know this kid? He's the conservative YouTuber. I'm going to go in and fuck up people's day at work type shit. He just records himself being an asshole to people.
I know the name, but that's from the red water I dip my face into every so often. Which I gotta tell you, I'm starting to be tired of dipping my face into the red water. I know that I still need to know, and I understand that if I want a fair and balanced view of the world, I have to listen to what both sides are saying. But I
agree with them.
Not agree, but you do need to understand.
Not agree or give weight or legitimacy to.
But I watched the whole thing, Discord. We use Discord to record. That's just a full disclosure moment. And Discord, the right is very unhappy with Discord right now because of the whole you're going to need to use, government ID in order to confirm your age and identity in order to continue using Discord at full capacity.
Yeah.
So, oh, by the way, we're planning a production meeting. We should probably put that on the agenda. How we record this show every week should probably be a bullet point. But
yes,
but this it was a YouTube video that I watched. Legitimately sounded like, oh, I don't trust that Discord. Discord is it's a place for people to put up their pornographic images. And I'm like, you sound like you're 700 years old. You are grasping your pearls over Discord. And it's just because you had a bad experience with a Discord one time. And you're letting it paint your entire, what is happening?
Or they're just being told that that's what's going on and have never actually used the
Well,
product.
so the thing is that they admitted that this channel had a Discord briefly, and it got so out of hand that we ended up having to shut it down. And it's really? That happens, I get it, but I don't know why that would make you hate the entire program. I joke at the end of the episode that, if it's a little too much like social media for you, but at the end of the day, Discord is basically just a chat device.
Yeah, that's all it ever was.
I could not understand it. It was really one of those moments where I'm like, oh, I think I've gone through the veil. I'm just seeing a little bit too much now.
Yeah.
And I've really pared it down to the red water I expose myself to. I'll be honest about that. Because a lot of the stuff got to this level. And this was kind of the last one that I was watching with any semi-frequency. I'd watch 1 or 2 videos a week on topics that are related to things I care about, such as Discord, a chat program that I use twice a week, right? And just to see that side of it, and I'm just that is so biased, so incorrect. Oh my goodness, is it even worth it anymore? But again, there are people who would just be completely unaware of that other side of the bubble. And I think we need to know thy enemy. And I guess enemy is a little strong there, but I think you know what I'm saying, right? So,
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
you know what?
I,
And
I
also,
just want to make sure that people understand that there is in no way like we both sidesing an argument for a lot of their beliefs, but
right. Yes, he's right. But it is just one of those things where, like, if you're out there, like, let's say, I don't know, there's the biggest holiday for a while just happened with Valentine's Day. And that's not really a family holiday. You're probably not, like, going over to your parents' house for a Valentine's Day lunch. But if you do happen to have conservative parents and they're suddenly like, oh, this fucking Discord thing that they've never known about, right? Something that they've just now heard about and are now going to spout that's because that's what the right has decided they're going to wage war on this week. And on some levels, and I think the gross thing is that I don't want to have to, like, scan a copy of my government ID in order to keep using what is essentially AOL Instant Messenger. So that upsets me.
Because, like, as per usual, the left is saying pretty much the exact same thing the right is saying, but in a much more reasonable tone.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
But you know what? I'm pissed. I'm actually pissed off because if it were another golfer hiring somebody to, like, scream and mess up with their competitors, they don't ask how, they ask how many. But for it to just be some fucking anarchist YouTube asshole doing it, like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, he's one of those, like, prank YouTubers, quote unquote, which automatically makes him right wing as far as I.
You got punked, bitch! I hired a guy. Like, what the fuck? You know what? No tears were shed. No losses were gained by him being banned forever from golf.
This is two of the titles from his repertoire apparently cited in this article I'm looking at are, I'm not giving the guy any more name airtime, but I crashed into a cop car. That sounds like a great prank, kid. And then the other one is I got banned from Disney. These aren't pranks, bro.
That's just a way to live your life with no whimsy.
You're just an asshole.
You know what, though? This whole chat, I was going to save this for later, but instead, probably the title of the episode, and we're kicking it off right now, Pop Quiz, Jackass! So...
Oh, no, it's happening.
It's happening. The January-February 2026 AARP is in my hands. And here's the article in their Witty and Wise section, celebrating Sandler.
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 40. I've just turned 40. This is why you should live with people who are AARP age, though, because things like what's about to happen can then happen in your podcast, right? Learn from us. Adam Sandler, 59, has spent 3+ decades entertaining audiences. And so, whoopity-doo! He's our choice for this year's AARP Movies for Grown-Ups Career Achievement Award. Are you a Sandler savant? Take this quiz. By Whitney Matheson. So, I took the quiz and I missed... I'm not happy about it. I missed 3 questions. There are 16 questions. Siegen, are you ready?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you. I don't think I have a shot at getting anywhere close to you, but let's do it.
Let's talk about the playing field has been leveled. There is multiple choice on this, so I will give you multiple choices if you request them. Deal?
Let's hear what the first question is like, and I'll decide from there.
All right, question 1. As a young comedian in the 80s, Sandler got his small screen start on what game show?
Oh, the dating game, right?
Do you want answers? Because it's not the dating game. That's not even a choice.
Love Connection, whatever that one is.
A, Press Your Luck, B, Remote Control, C, Singled Out, or D, Hollywood Squares?
Remote Control. It was definitely Remote Control.
There you go, see? Question 2. Sandler was a Saturday Night Live cast member from 1990 to 95. Which of these recurring characters was not portrayed by him? Is it A, Opera Man, C, Goat Boy, B, Cajun Man, or D, Canteen Boy?
Goat Boy.
That's right. That's 2 for Satan.
That was a Jim Brewer special.
Yes, sir. Oh, God. Shout out to Jim Brewer. He earned it. He earned it on this episode of the Slay Report. Question 3. Sandler was known for his funny songs on SNL. Which one included cameos by Paul and Linda McCartney? Was it A, Lunch Lady Land, B, the Thanksgiving song, C, the Hanukkah song, or D, Red Hooded Sweatshirt?
D. It's the. Oh, I don't know. Is it the Thanksgiving song?
It is D, Red Hooded Sweatshirt.
Red Hooded Sweatshirt.
I thought it was Lunch Lady Land because the whole Paul McCartney, I'm like, I don't eat beef, I'm a beetle.
No. Lunch Lady Land's big get is Farley
Yeah,
in that.
But that's what I thought. That like, yeah, maybe in the background because he hates meat. All right, in 1993, Sandler released his debut comedy album, which has been certified double platinum. What's the name of that album? Do you want the things?
Am I not getting the multiple choice?
I can give you. I want to see if you know this one without the multiple choices.
Stan's Boy, right? Or Stan's Kid?
No, Stan and Judy's Kid is not the first. So here are the open. That's the fourth, actually. They're All Gonna Laugh at You, Opera Man's Greatest Hits, Comedy Is Not Pretty, and Evening with Adam Sandler.
Is it They're All Gonna Laugh at You?
They're All Gonna Laugh at You! That's correct.
Oh, I didn't know that was his first. Man,
album.
Okay, cool. I thought that because that was the album that everybody was like passing around and like I got into him on and stuff. And I just assumed I was late to the party on that. So
nope, it's 93. You probably weren't passing it around in 93 when you were still a moon-eyed innocent. But 94, yeah.
In elementary school in the lunchroom? It might have been.
Yeah, I know. That's when I was passing it around. It's fun to call you a moon-eyed innocent. All right, question number 5. One of Sandler's earliest films was the 1994 comedy Airheads. He played a member of fictional rock band The Lone Rangers alongside Steve Buscemi, and which future Oscar winner? You're not getting choices for this one.
Brendan Fraser.
It's Brendan Fraser. Which... The Mummy 4, the fourth Mummy movie, officially has a release date. It's May of 2028. Coincidence? I think not. That's also on the production meeting list. This is a weird episode of the Say Report, and we're only 13 minutes in. Question number 6. In 1996, Sandler won an MTV Movie Award for Best Kiss with which co-star? Was it A, Drew Barrymore, B, Jennifer Aniston, C, Julie Bowen, or D, Kevin James?
1996?
1998.
98. It wouldn't have been Kevin James then.
I don't even think they knew each other.
No, it's got to be Drew Barrymore at that point.
It is
right?
The Wedding Singer, Drew Barrymore. Nice job. Which dramatic actor played Sandler's overprotective mother in the 1998 comedy The Waterboy?
Kathy Bates.
Yeah, that's good. No guesses there. Do you want to... I'm going to see if you can pick, just out of the blue, one of the other 3 options that AARP gave.
Ooh.
So, like, dramatic actor.
June Squibb.
No, that'd been... Fuck you! He's funny.
She shows up later.
Yeah, she's in Hubie Halloween. That's why the guy's got jokes. The other options were Mary Steenburgen, Jane Fonda, or Patricia Clarkson.
Oh, damn.
So they have fun. Patricia Clarkson, they're like the same age. No, she's probably a little bit older than him. All right, number 8. Sandler first worked with his wife, Jackie, in 1999's Big Daddy. What other film of his has Jackie appeared in? Is it A, Blended, B, The Do-Over, C, 50 First Dates, or D, all of the above?
I think it's D.
It is all of the above. Congratulations. That's kind of the gimme question in this quiz. Question 9.
That one is the gimme. Sorry,
when half-demon Nicky learns to eat on Earth in 2000's Little Nicky, which
Popeye's
food
chicken.
does he come... There you go! The other options, though, because this is good, Devil's Food Cake, apples, or corn nuts. Oh, Whitney Matheson, you made a quiz. You certainly did. In the 2004 film 50 First Dates, Sandler's character has what job? A, firefighter. What, you want to go?
Sorry, go ahead. 51st Dates, he works at the aquarium / water park. I don't know if it's like a SeaWorld thing.
So A, firefighter, B, wedding singer, C, marine veterinarian, D, toll booth operator. So C, final answer? C. I'm going to ask the correct answer. All right, number 11. What classic movie monster does Sandler voice in the Hotel Transylvania animated films?
Dracula.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Grandpa Drac.
Yeah, that's true. In the second one. In 2019 film Uncut Gems, which is actually sort of the reason why we were going to do this quiz, is I have some Uncut Gems things to talk with you about. In the 2019 film Uncut Gems, it marks one of Sandler's most dramatic roles. It's also the first time he plays a character who does this. Is it A, has a goatee, B, owns a dog, C, wears eyeglasses, right? Or D, never curses?
Oh, well, it's not that one.
Oh, you don't think so?
Owns a dog. No, that's not right because of the glasses. It could be the glasses thing. What was the first option?
Has a goatee. Where are the answers? This one I'm not 100% on. I also like that, like me, you were like, he dies in it. He dies like 100 fucking times in Little Nicky.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I mean, because he doesn't technically, whatever. Yeah.
He dies a bunch of times in Little Nicky.
What is the... I'm going to say it's the glasses. I'm going to go with the glasses.
That is correct. He wears eyeglasses. In 2005, Happy Gilmore 2... why does the title character return to golf?
Wait a second. Question about the last question.
Yes.
Was that before or after Sandy Wexler?
Yeah, that's an incorrect question. Like 100% that's an incorrect question. Congratulations. Because Sandy Wexler's 2017. Or even earlier than that. But yeah, wears eyeglasses. They're kind of like sunglasses in Sandy Wexler. I guess Whitney Matheson would argue. I don't know. That's a weird question. I agree with you. But 2020...
That just feels like she just went to the IMDb trivia and just pulled questions from there rather than actually...
Yeah. And, well, I mean, you're doing great. You've only missed one so far. Two, if you count that you thought he was on the dating game. All right, so 13. 2025's Happy Gilmore 2. Why does the title character return to golf?
Do
you know?
Because his daughter wants to go to school and it's expensive.
A, to get revenge on rival Shooter McGavin. B, to win back old flame Virginia Venett. C, to afford ballet school for his daughter. D, to fulfill a promise to his grandmother.
C.
You are correct. C. Number 14. Which actor has not played Sandler's love interest in a movie? Is it A, Patricia Arquette, B, Kate Beckinsale, C, Salma Hayek, or D, Reese Witherspoon?
Oh, I don't think Reese Witherspoon has.
That's correct. She played his mom in 2000's Little Nicky. Way to go, Siegen. Number 15. Many of Sandler's movies have centered around sports. Which sport is part of the films Grown Ups, Little Nicky, and Hustle?
Oh, basketball.
That's correct. The other options were football, golf, or roller derby. I want the Adam Sandler roller derby movie. I'm just going to say it. Make it a sequel to fucking Whip It. Throw Drew Barrymore in there. I'm a happy camper. Final question, number 16. Which actor has appeared in more than 15 films with Adam Sandler? A, Drew Barrymore. C, Kevin James. Oh, sorry. This is... Why did it switch up on this last question? That's insane. Legitimately insane. Is it A, Drew Barrymore, B, Rob Schneider, C, Kevin James, or D, Henry Winkler?
Oh, I think it's Rob Schneider.
That is correct. CJ missed one question. I missed 3 questions. I fucked up with Goat Boy. I will admit that. Threw me off. And I fucked up with, I said that he had never had a goatee before. Not the eyeglasses thing. CJ, congratulations! According to AARP's Movies for Grown-Ups Career Achievement Award, celebrating Sandler, you are the champion. Whoopity-doo! Also, apparently, AARP's Movies for Grown-Up Awards with host Alan Cumming will air on PBS's Great Performances starting on February 22nd. Check your local listings for dates and times or stream the show on aarp.org or the PBS app. Thank you, AARP. They are not a sponsor. It's just Adam Sandler came up in AARP, which in some way makes it feel like what we dedicated the last 5 years of our lives to may have been a job for older individuals.
What are the obvious truth of it, that we are just a couple of old men?
Yeah, I mean, I am reading AARP on the Say Report. So as I alluded to, Uncut Gems is something that I kind of want to talk to you about, and hopefully the listener enjoys it. Congratulations on that. That was a good job on that quiz, Siege, and I'm proud of you. I saw Marty Supreme. Have you seen Marty Supreme?
Wait, yeah, no, but what does this have to... What? No, I have not.
So Marty Supreme is a little movie made by one of the Safdie brothers, Joshua. They split up after Uncut Gems. I did not know that. I did not realize Uncut Gems was the last time that they worked together before they're like, yeah, we're going to go our own way, like Fleetwood Mac. Marty Supreme is nominated for 9 Oscars, which is just crazy to me, because now that I've seen Marty Supreme, now that I have stood high upon the mountain and gazed upon the gloriousness that is Marty Supreme, Marty Supreme is straight up just Uncut Gems. And it's crazy to me that it is just straight up Uncut Gems. Timothy Chalamet's character is just as despicable as Howard Radner. The crazy thing is, like how Uncut Gems starts with like the colonoscopy. Literally, Marty Supreme starts with you would not be wrong if you mistook Marty Supreme for the 4th entry in the Look Who's Talking series, because it starts with an insemination like sequence. Jeez. Timothy Chalamet has sex with Odessa. Oh, I don't know what the last name she's using now. Shadazen? Pam Adlin's girl there. And it shows it in rather graphic detail. All of the little spermatozoa swimming towards an egg. And it's something. And then it's really just him making increasingly incorrect decisions in his life that eventually culminates in someone getting just shot in the face at point blank range. And then at the end, the only difference, where the difference is that Uncut Gems, Howard Ratner dies, Marty Supreme does not die. That's the difference. It's Odessa Azion. I'm not sure why she's going by that as her last name now, because she was Odessa Adlin for a while. I think it was to try to beat some of the like Nepo baby allegations, but like it's the Adlin family in Hollywood. Like, you're still there for a reason. And I think she's a great actor. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But also, the last thing I'll say, as much as I do like her, is that she's literally just doing Julie Fox from Uncut Gems. Like, it's the same accent. It's the same sort of, like, thing. Like, I liked Marty Supreme. But what occurred to me as I was like talking through it with some people after watching it is just how much it is Uncut Gems, and it got nominated for 9 Oscars, and Uncut Gems got nominated for 0 Oscars. So it really does seem like proof that the Oscars are just never going to give Adam Sandler his proper. Which is a little sad. I'm going to just be honest about that. Also, I think that, I just want to confirm this. I know how long Marty Supreme is. It comes in at 2 hours and 30 minutes. Pretty sure Uncut Gems is shorter than that.
I do believe so.
It's 2 hours and 15 minutes, Uncut Gems. Marty Supreme could lose half an hour. And I don't like that as a thing, but it's one of those ones where, like, it has, like, a really nice pace, and then it does kind of come to a halt. And you're like, this is going to be over soon, right? Because
I mean, but especially when you're putting it in conversation with Uncut Gems, because I would say that one of the most, of a film that does many things extremely well, one of those things at the top of the list is the ways in which that movie never lets go. You just kind of start feeling tense, and you just feel more and more and more and more until the end of that movie. And so, like, because of that, 2 hours and 15 minutes does not feel like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Not at all. It just clips. So, like, there were a couple of moments with Marty Supreme where I'm just like, oh, I have to go to the restroom. Like, this movie did not grab me the same way. And it's interesting. We'll see how it goes. I mean, like, we're not as obsessed with awards as the show once was. I was going to watch
a little bit this year, though, with everything going on with Sinners. I'm going to say that right now.
I have a bit of shit in the game. I do feel involved in this one. I think have I seen all of the best pictures now? That's a really good thing to ask. Oscar nominations 2026. It's time to meet the Muppets on a Muppet Show tonight. I haven't watched it yet. Sorry. Let's see. I haven't seen Begonia. I haven't seen Frankenstein. I haven't seen Hamnet. Haven't seen The Secret Agent, haven't seen Sentimental Value, or Train Dreams. I've seen three of them. I have some catching up to do if I want to see them all. But I'm going to say...
Frankenstein's on the best picture list, huh?
Yeah. But F1...
I think Frankenstein is a fine film, but I don't know if I'd put it on the best picture list. Anyway, sorry.
Well, that's why they increased it to be able to accommodate 10 pictures, right? Is that exact reason? Is so that, like, if there were just 5... I don't think that most of the ones I just read would be up there. If it were only 5...
Yes, in fact, 5 of them wouldn't be.
True, that's a good point. But I think that, like, One Battle After Another and Sinners would be there if it was only 5. I think that the films that I haven't seen are kind of the ones that, like... I think Hamnet would be there. I'm upset I haven't seen Hamnet yet. But Chloe Zhao is, like, they love her. And they love
it's Hollywood loves a movie about making art, right? And specifically about making movies, but like plays are just as close to that. So like just anything exploring this idea of this artist period piece thing is it's Oscar bait from the get-go.
Certainly. As soon as we saw the trailer, we like kind of gave each other that knowing glance of what Hamnet was. But then it looked like a good movie. Like it didn't just feel like Oscar bait. Like, Marty Supreme, when I saw the trailer, I'm like, I want to see the fuck out of that movie. I was upset that I didn't get to see it before I watched it at home, between illnesses and things, right? Like, it's just one of those. So, I don't know. I mean, I've seen of them. I've seen F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. God, Sinners was such a good movie. I don't know. But again, we're not really that guy, but... The interesting thing is that the only difference that I could see is that they put a more marketable person in the leading man position with Timothée Chalamet. This is his 3rd nomination for Best Actor with Marty Supreme. He now is officially the youngest person nominated for 3 Oscars, unthroning Marlon Brando. Who had did it at 24. Timothée Chalamet did it at 23. So, So I'm interested to see how Marty Supreme ultimately fares and where things go from there. And I recommend it. I know that like I might sound like it was an enjoyable film. It's not just Uncut Gems, but I'm talking like on a DNA level under a microscope. Like the creative formula of it and everything like that. I think it speaks more to what the Safdies are bringing, specifically Josh Safdie, to a narrative and the stories that he wants to tell. I mean, especially when you consider what Benny Safdie has been doing since Uncut Gems. I want to make sure that I'm right about that before I go further. Yeah, like Benny Safdie was in freaking Happy Gilmore 2 as the bad guy.
I was going to say, played the bad guy in Happy Gilmore 2.
Like, he was in Happy Gilmore 2. He was, I don't know if you've seen The Curse. I don't think I would recommend The Curse to anybody. That's the Nathan Fielder, Emma Stone Showtime original series. I have watched 5 episodes of it, and by the 5th episode, I'm like, I'm having zero fun with this show. Like, the
Isn't it only like 6 or 7 episodes long?
It's 10 episodes. It's 10 episodes, and it's like,
okay.
I'm just like, I don't know if I have 4 more. I don't know if I have 5 more of these in me. But what he's doing in that is also really good. But then he also did The Smashing Machine. He wrote The Smashing Machine to his brothers, Marty Supreme. So, and he also, he produced it. Who directed that one, though? I guess he has never directed on it. No, Director 25. Thank you. Yeah, he directed The Smashing Machine. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But Smashing Machine, people who saw it said it was good. Also, Benny Safdie's going to be Bowser Jr. So, like,
yes,
he's got different things going. So I think Josh Safdie is the one who likes these, like, tense sort of movies. But I think, and it's weird because you say Uncut Gems grabs you and doesn't let go. I feel like that's one of the biggest complaints I hear about the movie Uncut Gems is just how intense it is as a film. So I think maybe that's why he injected these like little moments of solace into the experience with Marty Supreme. I don't know. But yeah, very, very similar movie. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it will be disappointing if it wins, even if it just wins. And you know what? It should win for casting. It was nominated for Best Casting at the Oscars, one of those not televised awards. And the casting in the film is exceptional. Like, they did a good job building 1952 New York. Because that's the other thing, is that Marty Supreme is a period piece.
Yeah.
So that's another, like, Oscar loves himself a period piece. He loves to go back to a time where there was at most one black person.
Dude, fucking true.
Jeez. All right, so I have a lot of other stuff that I want to talk about, so why don't we turn the stage over to you for a little bit, Siege? What have you been up to this week?
Oh, I've been kind of checking out the Olympics, watching a ton of that sort of stuff. It's been really interesting watching America on the world stage right now and seeing what's going on there. But honestly, we are not coming out looking that bad. We're not necessarily winning as many medals as I think were expected to going into this. But in terms of like behavior goes, did you see what happened between the Canadian and the Swedish curling men's doubles team or whatever?
No, I have not. What occurred, Stajan?
Apparently the Canadians are known, and this is specifically, I said men doubles, but there's always two. The men's team is apparently known for just cheating, for just like touching the rock when they're not supposed to, and like moving other people's shit and things like that. So like to the point that Sweden, supposedly, this is all alleged right now, but apparently Sweden set up their own cameras to on the ice to make sure that they could like capture them if they pulled any bullshit, and they straight up did. Sweden released the video. They caught them like touching the rock after a certain line that you're not supposed to touch and stuff, and like people were just like, well, that's pretty fucking blatant. and in the moment, Sweden calls it out too, right? So they say something to the Canadian team, and the Canadian team just starts swearing at them. Just like, fuck up, whatever, just fucking play. It's like, oh my god, man. What are you doing? And I don't know how much you've watched of this year's Olympics, but there was a big shift this year that I've noticed. Maybe I missed it the last years or two, but the last time around or two. But like the microphones that they have on the ground now, like, are
super sensitive.
so sensitive, so that they're picking up all of these conversations. And like I found out that they're like they've been putting microphones in the ice to pick up the skating sounds and things like that, like crazy shit like this, also that you could be there. And I'm so uncomfortable with it, I have to be honest. Like it is almost cringy for me, because like those moments between like like a skater and their coach, the moment before they step on the ice to try for a gold medal, that is one of the most private moments in the world as far as I'm concerned.
I
To
don't
have that
disagree.
be audible to everybody is just like, I don't need to be hearing this. I don't need to be hearing their pep talk. It's weird. Anyway, with all of that, you can hear the whole conversation that these two teams are having, and the Canadians swearing up a storm at the Swedes.
That's insane. That's legitimately insane. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It kind of makes me gross. Because, like, Olympics wise, I watched the U.S. men's game Thursday at the bar. I got to the bar very early to watch some live music, and that was excellent. And they had on the hockey game, and I'm like, this is great. But then it was also like men's hockey was ahead 4-0, and it was still the first period. So it's like, okay, well, this is it. I love watching hockey, so that. And then the other big thing that I have seen is Ashley Vaughn's fucking accident that like has her in traction, and there was the whole like someone came out and said that she might have to have an amputation, and then someone came out and said like no, that's that there's always a possibility of that with this, but based on where she's at, we don't think that's going to need to be. Like, it's been some crazy stuff. And that sensitivity of the mics, you're right about all those private moments, but the drone that they have following the skiers sounds like a fucking buzzsaw is chasing them.
You can hear it.
It is. You can hear it everywhere. Like,
it's so annoying.
Yeah, it is really it's annoying. Yeah.
And I do think that there is a legitimate like excuse for the idea of like historical preservation of these sorts of things, that like you want to be able to capture that sort of stuff. So I'm not saying that shouldn't exist. What they used to do, and I think they still do this around the world, is that there was always a feed that was completely commentatorless. It was just where these are the on the ground feeds for these sports, and so like. You're not getting any of the dramatic cuts. You're not getting any of the commentary, people explaining what's going on. You're just kind of watching the game, and if you know, you know. If you don't, too bad. So, like, that kind of feed, having this kind of fidelity, great, awesome, cool. Like, that's what that is for. That is supposed to be a recording of this sport to the best of its ability, that we can keep it recorded. But then, like, I don't want that when I'm watching it on NBC.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. I mean, that's one of the things that I have found over the last 16 years is I was ruined when for the World Cup in 2010, that was the feed that we had on the ship. Like, it's the cheapest feed that you can buy because you can pay for it, right? And I don't know, let's throw this on the production list as well, right? If we're going to do it. I would not mind getting that feed at the Say Report, finding how much it would be to like tap into that and then like be able to do Olympics coverage. I'm all about it, because that's why you license that type of stuff. And we could talk about, because my big complaint about the Olympics this year is the fact that I'm like getting bullshit. Like, I feel like none of the events I care about are the events that are happening. It feels like such a curated for the American audience experience on NBC. And it's never felt this curated before. Actually, I say that the Chinese ones were pretty curated too, because of,
it's the idea that, I mean, they're already starting from the point of, if the Americans are not playing, we're not showing it,
right?
Which is already kind of a bummer, because there's some pretty awesome matchups. I mean, like, there were just so many surprises. Like, we ended up with a couple of people up on the medal stand. But did you see the whole thing that happened with Kazakhstan at the skating yesterday? Or it might have been a couple of days ago. First medal for Kazakhstan in this Olympics, and it was gold. And it was this kid that this was his first major competition of all time. He
Jeez.
got out there, skated the skate of his life, got this amazing score, but even after getting the amazing score, everybody was like, and I say everybody, I mean the American commentators on NBC were saying all this shit about like, this is great. I mean, you know, he's not likely to win, but that's a really good score to start with, and he can be really proud of that. He maybe, you know, maybe he'll get lucky and he'll get bronze. And then slowly every skater after him, we just watched just like whiff it here or
Pants,
not land it there, like all of this shit. And he ends up getting gold. And I was like, by the end of it, I was rooting for him because I was just so sick of everybody. Oh, you know what it was? It wasn't America. I don't think America got in at all on that one. I think it was Japan. I think it was Kazakhstan, and then silver and bronze were Japan.
Was that the one where the quad god like failed? He fell twice in his final.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes,
and that's all I
exactly
hear
it,
about.
yeah.
That's all I've heard about. I didn't know anything about.
But
like,
here's the thing: that happened to the guy before him too. There was a skater from China before him, I believe, and that guy just fell completely. Oh no, was that the other guy? Yeah, it was crazy ass competition. You got like, because all of this shit that was coming out in the beginning about like who's gonna place here and what's expected there and all of that, it was a complete upset, a true upset of sports.
And that, I mean, like we've been chastised before for our love of it, but it is the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And like you gotta see the losses in order to appreciate the victories. So it's like, yeah, if they're only gonna show the American like participation too, like sometimes they'll show a full event if it's quick, like speed skating. They were showing, you know, it's 8 different races and all that. Like they can do that. Or it was 4 races, right? It's 8 competitors, 4 races. That fills a half an hour. But like on these other ones where it's like 20 or more competitors, very rarely are we getting to see every competitor compete.
Yeah.
Words. Yeah. Like,
but you know, like good on Ilya. I think you say his last name like Milanin or something like that. But he's the American skater from Virginia that was the favorite to get the gold. Went in with a routine that would have guaranteed him the gold if he had been able to pull it off. But he had some really bad falls in it, which is wild. But anyway, he you know, when that happened, you know, you could see how disappointed he was, but when they call it out, and he was the last to skate because he was the favorite, because he was like guaranteed to medal, essentially, they push him to the end, and then all of a sudden he came out and he whipped it. And so he knew immediately who was going to medal, because it was all based on how he skated. So he just walks over to the kid from Kazakhstan and was just like congratulating him, and was very, very good about it. But that is going to be a fucking bummer of a day.
yeah. I mean, that's one of those situations. If everybody had those type of issues, like all the falling and things, how many of that needs to happen? How much of that needs to happen before you question the ice? Like, was the ice properly Zamboni'd beforehand? Was there something going on there? Like, that's insane. That you talk about.
Yeah, but the quads, but like the whole point of him and being the quad god, as you said, is that quads are the new triples. Like when we were growing up in the 90s, people pulling off triple axles and shit were like, wow, I can't believe they're pulling off triples. Now people are pulling off quads, and that is the thing that if you can't do this, then your routine doesn't even count for this. So like this was supposed to be such an easy win for him because of this amazing ability he supposedly has with this, and the 2 things he fucked up were 2 of the required quad moves that he needed to have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about not just on him though. I'm talking about if the person before him did that, if other people like had these fall downs and things like that. When do you question if there was an issue? Right? Like if Kazakhstan went first, because as it sounds like he would be the lowest seeded. Again, I know nothing about this. I'm just asking the questions about like where do we come with fair play in that. So he had the cleanest ice surface, and the resurfacing between presentations or things like that. Like if the Zamboni were having issues, or if there was debris on the ice and things like that. Like that's such a thing that does enter into my mind. If, as you pointed out, and again, this is only, I'm getting a secondary account of it. I did not watch it live. There were so many issues from these like top tier athletes.
Yeah, I think that they know that they were performance issues. It wasn't.
Good.
I don't think that they would blame the equipment at all.
That's good.
I'm happy about if you really want to talk
yeah.
about that kind of thing, though, with the idea of like the environment fucking shit up, all of the snowboarding and skiing stuff right now has been left, right, and center with what the conditions are going to be like, because it keeps snowing a little bit. Plus, then there's also, people are skating or skiing all day, and so like it's flattening shit down, but then it's building back up with this like white powdery shit on top. It has been a fucking hellscape out there. And then on top of that, I guess Italy, I don't know why, but apparently some of the jumps that Italy built were not like as big as people were expecting. So there's been a lot of guys, especially in the snowboarding competition, falling on their ass because they were expecting to have more airtime.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. Because, like, you talk about triples in figure skating being a new thing. My mind immediately goes to, like, the 720 was a big deal, and then we saw the first 900 get pulled off. And then suddenly that's it. And then you talk about snowboarding and, like, the 1080 in snowboarding because of just the air that they get going down the mountain, the speed plus the way their ramps are. So, like, to think about just how 3 rotations on figure skating because of the terrain, the conditions, and like the speed and everything about it, compared to like 1080s in snowboarding, like that's crazy, because that's a triple in snowboarding, right? But yeah, if you're told it's going to be one thing or expected, and then also what you're talking about, like snow falling and that affecting the conditions, that's also going to affect the airtime that you get off of the ramp, even if it was built to the proper specifications. Because like all the mathematics.
Well, no, it's not even that it's not proper specifications. Like it was really interesting because you could see this divide between kind of some of the old timers that have been doing competitions for a while, not just the Olympics but competitions in general, were able to kind of adjust their routines to that because they're used to seeing, you show up at a place, it's not as big as you think, you adjust, or vice versa. You get more time than what else? What are you going to add to it? Right. And like, then you have a bunch of these younger kids, because the big thing is that this Olympics, I don't know, I'm sure this happens every year, but it was so wild to me. So many kids that are like 17, 19, 20, this is their first time ever competing in the Olympics, and things like that. And so it was the ones that were struggling with adjusting to that were this younger group of athletes that I just don't think are used to the idea that like, yeah, your environment's not always going to be the ideal practice environment that you've been working in. It's why like so many people like travel, when they're at this level of athleticism, they will travel and train in all sorts of different environments because you just don't know what kind of shit's going to show up that day, but so like it's this weird thing where like it's not out of regulation or anything like that. It's just that everybody kind of expected that for the Olympics they were going to put a bigger jump in, but Italy was just like, nope.
I mean, it's all up to the host country's discretion. That's one of the craziest things about the Olympics, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody with the whole, why was breakdancing in the Summer Olympics 2 years ago? Like, that's because France wanted that. France wanted to have breakdancing. They get
France wanted to embarrass Australia on a world stage.
I mean, that's not just France's. Australia had some responsibility, goes to Ray Gunn, but we probably shouldn't talk about it because I hear she's very litigious, and I don't think anybody's talking about her right now. So us saying Ray Gun and Olympic breakdancing in this episode, 1 million Google alerts just went off for Ray Gun. I look forward to seeing if we get sued. I'm all about it. Bring it on. I don't think we've been disparaging at all, except for the fact about her litigiousness. Can you sue someone for being too sue happy? Or does that kind of prove the point? Yeah, right? Oh, jeez. But, I mean, you also talk about, like, it's out of the, like, first Olympics and things like that. Like, the 2022 Olympics, they were kind of like a thrown together rush job too in the wake of the pandemic. So it is, we are in one of those situations where it is probably a lot of newer competitors because there just wasn't a time to build up that veteran presence because the people who competed in 2022, either they did not like the experience, which was a big takeaway from those Olympics, was that like China was not prepared for it.
No, I gotta say,
Yeah.
Italy knocking it out of the fucking
Out of the
park with this
park.
one.
Yeah.
They have been really really cool. It's been really cool to see. The one of the big things that really got me was that they did a split opening ceremony because half of the sports needed to be done up in the mountains, right? For this, so there's a whole bunch of people that were like hours away. They weren't gonna come down, especially at night before they have competition, to like go to the opening ceremonies just to have to drive back up to the mountain. So what they did is they did a split opening ceremony between the two areas. They did one up on the mountain and then one down and down in Milan itself. And it was awesome. The way that they were able to cut between the two of them, show that they were both kind of getting this like this amount of respect and stuff was like it was done really well. And then on top of that, I don't know if you watched the opening ceremonies at all, but the artistic side of things, it was a big old reminder that Italy was doing this shit for a while.
There's a reason the Renaissance took place in our country. Oh man, I gotta stop doing accents. I'm never going to, but I should. I should train myself to stop doing accents.
I mean, I won't, but I should.
Knowing is half the battle, Sejin. Oh, goodness gracious. That's good. I'm glad. The thing that I've really learned about this Olympics is how much I enjoy Olympic fail videos. And not like something like what happened with Ashley Vaughn. Like, that is terrible. Lindsey Vaughn, sorry. That happened with Lindsey Vaughn. The Ashley comes from one of the ones that I watched, which is female skeleton. There was a broom left on the track, and she just plowed through it. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like, that guy, probably a volunteer, but if not, lost his job. Because they do that. They, like, sweep the ice and they clean it, and he just pulled his broom too late. So, a competitor smashed into the broom. And I guess that's why I question the thing of, like, the surface of the ice. Because when something like that happens, apparently these are things that happen all the time in the, like, slide sports of the Winter Games. Your bobsled, your luge, your skeleton. Is like, stuff winds up on the track all the time. And you'll get to go again if there is any sort of obstruction while you're racing. Which is good, which is a proper thing. And again, I mean, that's because, like, Skeleton, I think her run ended up being less than 90 seconds from top to bottom. But yeah, like that's how fast they're going. And she hits that broom with some fucking speed. It doesn't break, but you see it smack into her shoulder. And then there's a whole thing. I watched that one thing on YouTube, and then YouTube's algorithm blessed me. God bless me. Blessed me. I sounded like Daffy Duck there. Blessed me with just a bunch of other videos of similar things happening. Of, like, people on the track for some reason. People not landing on their sled properly. Like, missing their sled and then going down on their ass. Like, there's a reason why Cool Runnings persists. And it's because those sports are an art form. And they're an art form that you really only get to see at the Olympics. We're not having bobsledding on the TV every weekend. And you know what? I think we're all worse off for it, Sejin.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. Let me go back to my big old list of things I want to talk about. Because I think it's video game time at the old Say Report base at the ranch. Where are we? Thank you. Yep. I got 3 video game things to talk about.
Oh,
and that's like right, things that I'm excited to talk about. Let alone
I've got to just, as far as video games go, I just get a moment of, I've been doing some various modding.
Yes!
not like I've not been creating mods, but I've been going
ROM
into
hacking,
the kind of the depths of applying mods and finding some new stuff. I sent Death a couple of different ones I found that I was able to pull the actual like hack versions. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, I saw. The problem was I couldn't get my emulator to run yesterday. I tried to play both of them. Actually, I probably wouldn't have played the Mario RPG one because I am very deep into the Axum Rangers game, and I do not want to screw my brain up at all.
Yeah, no, like, for sure. Yeah.
I just got to
I will say that, especially because the Waluigi one, so one of the ones I sent you was Super Waluigi World RPG. But one of the big things about that one is it takes a while, I think, for you to there's definitely differences immediately. You can see like the sprite changes, you can see like the dialogue and all that. But as far as like mechanics and things like that go, it opens up eventually, but it does take a while to get to that. So I wouldn't suggest, if you're in the middle of other stuff like that, definitely don't jump into that one yet. But Goof Troop 2, man, is so much fun.
That was the one I'm like, well, I will definitely be playing Goof Troop 2. I was so excited for it, and it just wouldn't open. Is that the one in space, or is it a different one?
Yes. Okay. No, it is that one. It does go to space eventually, yeah. Yes, that is that.
Cool, very cool. I mean, I've seen that one, and I've just never played it. And in fact, this will be fun. Hopefully, Claude received it before, but I am, in the episode, sending him the Super Waluigi thing, because he got so mad that we were playing Mario RPG ROM hacks and that I did not tell him about it. I never really thought of it as a game that he cared about, I'll be honest with you. All right, so I guess we'll do this quick, and then at the hour mark we have something special for you. This is good right here. I didn't realize that there was a God of War Metroidvania game that came out on Thursday. Like, it's already out. Gods of Sparta, or Gods of War. It's like a 2D God of War Metroidvania like game that I want to play. I did not realize that it existed, and we'll get to why I haven't played it. But yeah, Sejan, have you seen this?
No, I knew that they had announced that they were going to do a trilogy remake.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they were doing this. What is it called?
It's God of War Sons of Sparta. It is the first chronologically. You're a young Kratos undergoing his Spartan military conditioning with his younger brother Deimos, and it's an action platformer where you like explore, and it's got elements of a Metroidvania. Like, here's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the thing that I saw was that it was coming 2026. What I didn't see is that, like, that's the splash screen I saw everywhere. So I'm like, oh, I can look into this later. But then they had them, like, run in and destroy that and have it replaced with today. So, like, that's the game I have to play before all of the solutions are out there, and it will not be fun anymore.
Oh, good. They got Bear McCreary back to do the music. Love
Excellent.
It. Good.
There you go. And then I guess the other thing before we go to like the special event of this episode is that game that I beta tested did release on Tuesday. I full achievement it on Steam in an hour and 50 minutes, which means that if I wanted to, I could have still refunded it. The sad thing, I do just want to repeat it because we did talk about it for a while there. I am not credited in it, which again, I said that probably was going to happen. But there was still that little bit of me that hoped I might even get like just like a thank you or things like that. All that said, even though that experience with it, I still recommend the game. It's $15 right now. There's still discounts. I shared them in the Say Report Discord in general, where you can get it at Steam or for the Nintendo Switch. I really enjoyed the finished product of it. Because, like, there's some more connective tissue that wasn't there when I was beta testing it. And the final boss is a completely different experience than the final boss that I tested. In the test version of the game, you were in a block, and every time you jumped, you'd rotate 90 degrees. So you could only damage the boss, every sort of, like, fourth jump, you'd be facing the boss. And then you'd have to navigate like a thing, like it was an auto scroller sort of thing.
Yeah.
Now you are in a bowl of noodles, and every jump rotates you 180 degrees. So you have more opportunities to shoot the enemy that you're facing off against. But also, if you're not facing forward, there are obstacles that will just kill you. So it's an interesting. That was the thing that took me the longest in the playthrough. I streamed the whole thing, and I also recorded it. I don't know if I'm going to put that up somewhere, or where I would put it up if I did. But overall, it was a fun experience. Like, it was fun streaming it. There's no mic because I did get diagnosed with bronchitis earlier this week. And I was just starting the antibiotics on the day when the game came out, but I wanted to record my first playthrough with it. So yeah, The Prisoning Fletcher's Quest is worth checking out if you're looking for a sort of like introductory Metroidvania game. Which brings us to the hour mark, and something else that was released this week that I'm very excited about is a new Castlevania game. Like, straight up, there's going to be a new Castlevania for the 40th anniversary of Castlevania, which we're going to talk about 40th anniversaries and how to do them properly. But first, let's have this celebratory moment. So we're going to pause recording for a second because Sejin, showing just immense and amazing restraint, has not watched the trailer yet for the new Castlevania game. So for you, it's going to be no time at all, but we are going to pause. We're going to watch that trailer, and then we're going to come back and get Sejin's like real-time reaction to it. So we will see you in a second. And if you want to watch it too, we have shared the same trailer that we're watching from Konami's YouTube channel in the supplemental materials in the Say Report Discord. So you can go watch it too, and if you haven't seen it yet. And we'll see you in like, well, no time for you, but like a minute on our end. See you in a sec. And we're back after watching the trailer for Castlevania Belmont's Curse. Sejin, how's that make you feel?
Pretty amped. I gotta be honest. That is a damn good trailer, first of all. But I like a lot of what I see right now.
Yeah, I am a big fan. We've been using the term Metroidvania a lot this episode. We talked about a God of War Metroidvania. We talked about The Prisoning as a Metroidvania. Konami is seeking to get rid of that phrase. From their website about Castlevania Belmont's Curse, set 23 years after Castlevania Dracula's Curse, it follows a young Belmont's journey in an all-new 2D action exploration title from Konami, Evil Empire, and Motion Twin. I gotta tell you, action exploration, that works for me instead of the term Metroidvania, because it like explains what you're doing. Act X, I can call it an Act X platformer. All about it. But that so you saw the trailer. Do you have any sort of like, how deep are you into the lore of Castlevania? Is the first thing I ask you.
I enjoy the lore of Castlevania because of how fucking wild it is. I mean, the family trees and shit like that. Watched like the anime and enjoyed that. I would never pass a test on it. So like that. That's where I'm at as far as that goes.
Based on that trailer, do you have any conjecture or theories about what's going to happen? I did already take away the fact that it is a sort of direct sequel to Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse on the NES.
So Dracula, correct me if I'm wrong, but hasn't Dracula been killed in the Castlevania storyline?
He has. And his resurrection can only be every 100 years. So
I mean, this has to be it, right?
Well, I mean, it's only 23s after the death of Dracula in Dracula's Curse.
No, so you're right.
There are moments like in Rondo of Blood where Shaft, I'm just talking about Shaft, you damn right, is able to force a resurrection of Dracula before the 100 years have passed. Because the whole thing is that Simon is meant to be like the grandson of Trevor Belmont, the first Belmont who defeated Dracula. Now, there's a non-canon story in Castlevania Legends that Trevor's mother, Sonia, was the first one to, like, fight against Dracula and, like, put them on the shit list of it all. But that has been rendered non-canonical. But the character that you're playing in Belmont's Curse looks a whole hell of a lot like Sonia Belmont. as somebody who would probably pass a test on it.
You think it's going in that direction? I thought it was going in the other direction. I thought it was going to be his daughter.
So I think it might be his daughter. So what it could be is that, like, to rectify the continuity, Sonia Belmont is now the daughter of Trevor Belmont. But the whole look of her, canonically, Trevor Belmont in Dracula's Curse ventures with 3 other slayers. Grant Dynasty, the acrobat, Alucard, the son of Dracula, who we see in, like, Symphony of the Night, and Sifa Belnades. Sifa Belnades being a sorceress. And the canon is that Trevor and Sifa get together and have a child, and that adds magic to the Belmont bloodline. That's why they're able to, like, do the things they do. Like, Trevor Belmont, just a fucking badass. Just a badass who went to go fight Dracula, and here you go. But yeah, so I don't know. Because she also has some Sifa Belnades in her. Sifa, historically, while they referred to her as a man in the translation of in-game and within the instruction manual, Sifa is only referred to with male pronouns. Konami has said that was a fuck up by, like, the translation people in America. Sifa was always meant to be a female. Yay, translation errors, right? I don't understand it, right? That's why Samus being a woman was such a big deal for people, because they referred to Samus as he in all of the Metroid stuff, and then, oh my god. And we all
basically they made it so that they couldn't fuck that up.
Yeah. So very clearly it's that. She does seem to have, like, something going on her right arm, be that the Belmont curse or that. My big conjecture off of this trailer is that the werewolf that she fights is actually Trevor Belmont.
Oh.
I feel like Dracula cursed Trevor. Now he turns into that big werewolf that we see her fighting, who has what appears to be a whip wrapped around the left arm and throws a cross, which is pretty much like the Belmont special, is using crosses like fucking boomerang shurikens.
So maybe that shot of him in the carriage early on is him, like, exiling himself to the castle because of his curse.
And then to deal with the curse, and now his daughter, which I don't want her to be Sonia. I don't want that to be the case, but she looks so much like modern representations of Sonia Belmont. Like, if you look up what she looks like in the Vampire Survivors DLC, it's like almost 1-for-1. But, grandmothers, kids look like their grandmothers all the time. So I'd be all right.
That being a reference point, I think, is key.
Yeah. And Sifa was historically fair-skinned, blonde-haired, blue eyes. So, like, that would get passed on probably to the child she has with Trevor Belmont. And I think that what she's going to be doing is looking for a way to cure the curse on her father that has him turning into a werewolf and being a threat. That is Dracula's curse from the act of it. And now I think she also, that magic going on in her arm and, like, the splash screen at the end, maybe she's also trying to stop the curse within her own blood that was passed down. We'll see what happens. All I know is that I'm fucking excited for a new Castlevania. I'm excited that it's an action exploration one, not a classic Vania.
And I like the newer kind of almost cel shaded art style. It really kind of invokes in a lot of the darker moments. It really seemed to invoke some, like, Mike Mignola almost, like, shadowing in some ways, which I think for, like, a Castlevania story sounds amazing. But yeah, no, it looks good. It sounded great. The music sounds awesome.
Yeah. Even the voice work sounds good.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about, like, historically, what is a man? A miserable pile of secrets. Have at you! Like, they're not the best stuff. Like, it's solid writing for that little teaser trailer. That's, like, only 90 seconds of video, right? You could do a luge faster than that. But yeah, I'm excited for it. And it does seem like Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is also sort of that like 2D 5 sort of style, but it's rough. This does look more like animated, flowing, beautiful. It does have those Magnolia like shadows and shading. I'm excited. Of course I'm excited. It's a Castlevania game. But, and I missed it too. I missed pretty much the whole state of play. I was watching the U.S. hockey team at the time. I didn't even know there was a state of play. So thank you to some of my friends who live internationally for bringing my attention to new Castlevania game. I'm excited about new Castlevania game.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
All right. But, while I'm cheering and all excited about new Castlevania game for its 40th anniversary, and what also seems like they did a whole presentation on how they're going to be celebrating the 40th anniversary, I think we're going to see at least one new, collection this year, possibly of some of the 3D Castlevania games.
Okay.
So that's something that would be exciting. I think we'll probably finally see Castlevania Requiem get like a Steam release because it's only been a PlayStation exclusive for almost 10 years at this point. And like, we got to get that on other systems so that people can play like one of the better versions of Rondo of Blood. It's not the best version of Symphony of the Night. It's the PSP build, which is kind of the worst one. They fixed all the goofy words and they added in a fight, but it's not balanced properly. So we'll see. And it doesn't have like the extra areas like the Saturn version of the game. So hopefully they do some other balancing. Whatever, I'm just being a crazy person. But I also think we're probably going to get a second, possibly 3D new Castlevania game as well. Based on some of the stuff
like a Lords of
about.
Shadow style?
Like, yeah. Not probably not Lords of Shadows, probably like Vengeance, Shadow of Vengeance. Like that style. Because like Lords of Shadow was a little bit divisive. I'm talking like any of the ones that released on PS2 before they kind of made them. Like Lords of Shadow were fun, but they like retconned the world. That one was So we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, I think we will get a 3D Castlevania as well. Hopefully, because it's the 40th anniversary. You want to do things that matter. Unlike the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, which the only new game that we've gotten is Mario Tennis Fever.
Woohoo!
Now I have to tell you, the game looks incredible. I bought Mario Tennis Fever. I'm not going to lie about it. I was excited enough about it. I like the whole sort of storyline where like Daisy was, spoilers for Mario, this is the story of the game. But if you do want to play it and you want to experience it on your own, I am going to tell you the setup for the game. Daisy is sick. Wario and Waluigi come with this solution of a golden apple that can heal any illness. They all set off to get this golden apple, but it's a ruse by Wario and Waluigi to also steal some treasure that is located in like the root system below the tree where the golden apple grows. Okay. So while Mario and Luigi go and get the golden apple, there's at least a golden apple, right? There's been a lot of talk recently about what if Daisy is the Wa princess, because like it's a P upside down and backwards is a D. So, possibly. So Wario and Waluigi, they're still like, they don't want her to die, which is nice of them. So Mario and Luigi get the apple, but they go into this cave system to steal treasure, and that activates an attack by some unseen. There's a bunch of the fuzzies, the little like black insect things that kind of look like I don't know. They're like spiky on the thing, like touch.
Yeah, no. You mean the guys that ride around on the tracks that and stuff like that. Yeah.
Those are seen, but they also are kicking up a lot of dust, so you can't see these other enemies that are in there. And they cast a spell that ends up turning Mario, Luigi, Peach, Wario, and Waluigi into babies.
Okay.
And it is decided that if they had been better at tennis, they could have deflected the magic that babyfied them. So now they have all been enrolled at the Mushroom Kingdom Tennis Academy to learn how to play tennis. Because they've maintained their mental age, but not their physical prowess or their skills. So, like, Mario remembers what it was like to be a 40-year-old man, but now he's a baby. And, I don't know, it's been slow starting. Like, I've only had, like, 3 matches, like, actual tennis matches, because a lot of it's, like, training on how to, like, do... Like, when you first get to the academy... Mario is not strong enough. You play as baby Mario. Well, you play as Mario as a baby, but we don't want everyone at the academy to know that you're Mario turned into a baby. So we're going to refer to you as baby Mario to keep the cover going. Like, fuck, imagine what it would be like to live in the Mushroom Kingdom, Seijin, where, like, it's just a normal occurrence that there are baby versions of our leader and greatest heroes. Who are just walking around. So, like, he can't even hit a ball over the net. He doesn't have enough strength to do that. So there's a bunch of, like, little mini games that you play for strength training. And then as you get better, you learn different types of shots and things. The whole thing is another fucking sticker system. I'm fucking tired of this. I am tired of... Here's your ranking card. Collect stickers. When you get all the stickers, you rank up. And then there's more stickers to collect. They did it in Pokemon ZA. They did it in fucking Mario Party. The last one. Extravaganza? Was that the latest Mario Party?
With the mall?
Yeah, the one that we did the 30 round game in once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, there's this whole thing where, like, you collect stickers and rank up based upon stickers you collect. I'm tired of that being the way that progress is gated in Nintendo games. I became varsity. That's as far as I've gotten. I started with a JV card. I filled all the sticker slots on that. And now I am varsity class E. And I did the first challenge on that. I got a sticker of Princess Peach. It looks beautiful. And it plays like a dream. But I wish that there were more tennis in my Mario Tennis story game. I'm just going to be honest about it. And also, I wish that we got a new 3D Mario for the 40th anniversary, not a new Mario sports game.
Yeah. I mean, they were so big on celebrating the 35th. Maybe that was just more important to them.
Yeah. I don't know. And there's still time. They could drop a surprise 3D game on us. Who knows? But I'm not super excited for the Mario Wonder update that's coming next month.
I was about to ask about that. No, you're not excited? Why?
Because the best thing that they did is add Rosalina. I don't need, like, co-op challenge games in my Mario game. I hope that there's more single-player stuff. And that seems to be, like, I know they added the Koopalings and that, but I don't know how that's going to work yet. Well, I'm going to buy the game. I'm going to play the game. I know me, right? First of all...
Was that only Switch 2?
That is the Switch 2 only, yeah. That's the added value, is the fact that if you have the Switch 2 edition, in addition to better-looking visuals, you get all of this extra content. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like... I have this Switch 2 that has literally been sitting collecting dust, right?
Yeah.
That's why I was like, oh, new Mario game. I really liked Mario Tennis Aces. I had a blast with that one. It had a killer storyline, story mode. I was hoping for that here. So far, the story is engaging. The gameplay is not. And I'm Devin Decker, who just said the story is more engaging than the gameplay. And you know how much I hate stories, Seijin. You know that. The listener knows that. I don't know. But yeah, it's out there. If you have a Switch 2, you're looking for a game, I think it'll be good for party. It does play really well with 2 people. And the adventure, it's taken a little bit to get going, but I do hope that eventually when I have to go fight that monster again, that is exciting. The gimmick of the rackets, the fever rackets, do not work for me. And there's a whole tutorial that you have to go through with them before you get to you can even choose to play the story mode. And that just doesn't work for me. But that's me saying that, right? Like your mileage is going to vary with that. Tennis is tennis, and I played tennis. So like I don't need tennis to have gimmicks or things to bring me back to it. I understand why, if it's Mario Tennis, you want some of that like fun insanity. But for me, I just want a good tennis game. And it's a pretty good tennis game. I will give it that.
Yeah, that's not why I think you come to a game, this particular series for this game, but I get it.
Yeah. I don't know. Which brings me to, I guess, kind of the coup de grace of it all, which is Absalom. Now, you played Absalom, right? You said that you bought it. Have you played it at all?
Yeah, I've played a little bit of it. We've talked about how you put much more time into it than I have, clearly, from what I can see here.
Yeah, I got the Platinum Trophy this morning in the game.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, kind of nice. I put about 34 hours into the game, according to my PlayStation 5 stats. I don't know how accurate that is. Here's the issue with Absalom. It was a great game. Emphasis on was. On the 12th of February 2026, they released a patch to the game, version 1.1. And there's a name for it. I want to make sure I have the name for what this is called. Absalom patch.
We should find a name for this segment.
Why?
Because this is probably the millionth time we've talked about a patch ruining a game.
Yeah, we probably should. So it's called Threads of Fate. And what it did was it added more to the game. By all accounts, this should be a crowning achievement for Absalom. But they did the one thing I don't think you want to do when you patch a game, and that's remove accessibility options. And it removed an accessibility option that I feel, this is a personal choice, is something that a roguelite game requires. So how far have you gotten in like a run of the game? Like I want to just see where your base level is with the game.
I've got 5 different paths open on the main island, I guess is what I would call it.
Okay.
But I have not been able to really get off the island.
Okay, that's fair. That's understandable. One of the things that the patch did that I think is probably a boon, was the right choice, is they lowered the health of the boss of the first island. He was a big old damage sponge. He was like the real Absalom starts here. And in fact, I first finished a run of Absalom last Sunday, prior to the Super Bowl starting. Dale and I were doing a co-op game, and in a menu, she was at a shop. It disconnected us. You cannot reconnect to a game of Absalom if you disconnect.
Boo.
The way to do co-op is through the starting hub. It doesn't have always on co-op or everywhere co-op. You have to be playing together when it starts. Now, kudos to the game. Us disconnecting did not kick us back to the start. We got to stay where we were in our runs. And Carl, the dwarf, is sort of the character I enjoy the most. With the build that I had put together for him, I was doing crazy damage. Now, complaint about the patch, they nerfed some of those ways that I was doing crazy damage, and it wasn't anything like completely game breaking. I didn't have like 7 of like any sort of ritual or item. It was just when they originally programmed the game, they like one thing did a little bit more damage than they were comfortable with. I have always been a person who does not like nerfs in single player games. if you're playing cooperatively, if there's PvP, I understand it, because then it becomes not fun because everybody's playing the same build, because that's the strongest way to survive. Right. I get that. If you're only fighting environment, I don't really understand nerfing things. That's a personal complaint. I will say that. With that build, I was able to finish the game. We were about a third of the way through the game when we disconnected, and it just kept going. Like, I kept beating bosses, and like, I don't know how I'm doing this. I did not feel prepared for this. I didn't think I had a particularly good build, but just like, it almost felt like luck. But I completed the final fight against Azra, the big bad of the game. And then I found out that there's a secret ending and all of this other stuff.
Of course there is.
Yeah, of course. Spoilers for Absalom, which really shouldn't be spoilers, but like, because it's a roguelike and they're all about like bringing you back to play more. Once you complete the game, it opens up rifts into the Miasnar, which is like the dark world. And you see like some references to it a couple of the ways in the game throughout it. And what those rifts mean is that like on the first island, if a rift opens, you could be fighting an enemy from like the third island or things like that. Basically, it's a way to increase the challenge the next time you go through the game. But what it allowed you to do is to shut those rifts. There's a character at the hub world that if you speak to him, you can make it so that the rifts are closed. Now, I personally like that, because the game wants you to beat the game with all 4 characters. But why should you only have the easy run, quote unquote, with the first character you play through, but then the other 3 characters are going to be more difficult to play as?
Now, because of that particular mechanic.
Because of that mechanic, right? You should be able to experience the game in its quote unquote vanilla style with every character. And they gave you the option to do that. The Threads of Fate update that came out on Thursday, February 12th, completely removes that as an option. Once you have defeated Azra for the first time, now corrupted areas begin appearing on the map. And essentially, when you get to one of those branching paths, one of those areas will now be a corrupted area. And if you go to the corrupted area, they're much harder than what the game was like before they had the like rifts that could randomly open anywhere.
But to clarify, do you know it's corrupted before you make the choice, or is it a roll of the dice?
You do know that it's corrupted before you make the choice. If you're paying attention.
So it's up to you if you want to go that way or not. Okay.
Right. But where I start to have issues with that is that there are like missions that you need to go certain paths down in order to complete the mission. And like, because it's all RNG, there's a chance that that path you have to go down to complete a mission in order to unlock something in the game might always be corrupted.
Yeah.
Like that, there's no way to go back and like make it so that it's not like, there's no way to do it. And I think the whole point is that the creators of the game, and we've been talking a lot about creator choice and developer choice and the game that they want you to play through Zexion, through something like The Prisoning. I feel like they felt that people were not playing the game utilizing the rifts because you had the option to shut them off. And I got to tell you, I had them shut off while I was trying to complete the Platinum Trophy, because I don't want that added challenge. Right now I'm trying to do missions and things like that, and you gave me the option. They're all things I could have done in vanilla gameplay. You give me the option to go back to that. Hades, right? Even after you beat the game, you could still do 0 heat runs. So the game is what it was like before. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate. You have to choose to go through the portals that make the fights more difficult. Like, you have this choice. What Absalom did is take away that choice from the player, and that feels like a big mistake. And I mean, that's me, but it's and it's not just me, because there are people online who are making the same complaint. Like all you need to do is give us the option to play the game with no corrupted areas again, right? Then you can have this one where they turn on, and you could even add one where all areas are corrupted, right? Like you could go nuts with it. But to take away the vanilla version of the game once you've completed it, it just feels like anti-player. And it feels strange after, I mean, it's only been out since October of 2025, but that's kind of a huge shift to the game.
But like modular gameplay is like such a like cool thing when it's done well. But you know, there's some people that just like that's not the kind of game they want to make, you know. Yeah. But like, you know, you look at games like Balatro, like the ways in which you can play any level of the stakes and like all the different decks that you can play. You can go in and you can customize the look of your deck, and you can decide what kind of style of game you want to play. There's so much going on in that where in Balatro where you're like, yeah, this is great. I can make this. I also for like as far as assisted modes go, like you can change colors so that you can do like a colorblind mode and stuff like that. Like that kind of stuff is amazing. And that game and a game like Balatro kind of needs that, right? Whereas like I don't know if I would expect that level of that on another type of game. Like I get what you're saying, like wanting to be able to turn that stuff off, but if their idea is that you shouldn't need to, I mean, because I think about like another game that I've been playing a lot since, I mean, even before when it was just a demo, Peglin. Yeah. It's like a Peggle game, but like you're playing as a little goblin as you go through the woods and you fight things, and as you hit the pegs, that's the damage you're doing and stuff like that. It's cute, and it's a really, really well put together little kind of almost puzzly, but more like physics, like try your luck type style game. And the way that works is it forces you to play earlier levels if you choose a different character. There's like 3 or 4 different types of Peglins that you can be going out into the world, right? One of them's like a barbarian, one of them's like a scientist, one of them's, you know, sorcerer, that kind of thing. And so depending on which character you pick, if that character has only gotten to level 3, let's say, of this, has basically beaten the game 2 or 3 times, but like you have other characters that have beaten 6 or 7, doesn't matter, that character can't play past what they have done. And that's a little bit of a bummer, because like Peglin's not a game, like the different character types definitely change certain tactics that you use, but all in all you kind of get a pattern for like, okay, this is this boss, this is what this room looks like, because the monster rooms are also pretty standard. I'd say there's maybe like a half a dozen or more different types of monster rooms. What they do to up the level is like sometimes the pegs take 2 hits, or sometimes there's an extra monster in the room along with the old ones or something. But like you get a feel for what the game is going to be. So I don't really need to start from 0 every time with every new character. So that's a little bit of a bummer in that regard, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know like the way that they had it before, where you could have on the like new game plus modes, or you could shut them off. It felt good. Like I went from being able to beat the game without resting at any of the hearths to like, I'm struggling to get through the second island of the game.
Well, and remind me, there's not a save file system, right? Like so you can't just like start a new game, right?
You can there are 3 save files. So I could start a new game and do that, but eventually it's going to open up that way. And there's not crossover between the save files. So if you want to get all the rewards for beating the game with each of the characters, 3 of them are going to have to play through a world that has corrupted regions.
Right. Yeah.
So it's interesting. And then they also added, like, the thing is that like they made the game harder. Straight up. And I'll admit it, the platinum that I got this morning was on a PlayStation that I was able to stop the update from happening. And I mean, the reason I did that was I got all the way through a do not rest game. I was at the final boss, and then muscle memory kicked in, and I went to the healer right before the fight. And I
Oops.
I had full health at the time. There was no reason for me to do it. My mind was on autopilot and I went and talked to that guy and just ruined it. I would have had it done on the 11th of February. I would have had it done before this whole thing came out. But I went to one where I did not have the update installed. I got the remaining trophies there to get the platinum, because it's one of those things where sometimes you patch the game and those changes make the trophies inaccessible in a way. I don't know. It just kind of bums me out. But in addition to making the regular game harder once you have completed that boss, they've added new ordeals to it. And if you can complete the game with an ordeal, they're basically challenge runs of the game. To speak of Balatro, because you mentioned it, and they have a really robust challenge system, right, to keep you playing Balatro. These ordeals, you have to complete the game with one of them active in order to open up some of the other stuff they added to the game in terms of the upgrade tree and things that you can purchase in that hub area. And the ordeals, they're kind of crazy. It's you only do 25% of the damage. There are 300% more enemies per screen. It makes the game balls to the wall difficult. Now you can play with no ordeals, but in addition to playing with ordeals now, you have to do ordeals with the possibility of corrupted freaking areas. And I know you haven't played the game, you haven't gotten off the first island, but there are paths on the second, third island where I don't want to go down that path. That boss is a bastard. But now you're forcing my hand if I don't want to go through a corrupted area. And on some level, I dig that for the replayability, but maybe.
But that is on purpose. I think that is exactly
purpose.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, they are forcing your hand. That is the idea. And I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing, but it's not it feels that way type of thing. That is exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. And I don't know. And some people really enjoy it, but a lot of the reviews that I'm seeing are people are just give us the option to shut it off. Sometimes it was just a nice game to play, and now it's it's mad at me, and the game's not fun. It became
a get good game.
Yeah, it did become a get good game. And the other thing is that I felt I had gotten good, and now playing it again, it's now I feel I don't have any of those skills I had earned. It's just disappointing, because I had fallen in love with the game. I'm talking up till 1 a.m. every day this week, trying to beat it with different characters and unlock different paths and events within the game. And then I have not played it. I played it today. I was up at 4:30 today that we're recording this, so that I could get that final platinum, the final thing for the platinum. And that's the most I've played the game since they updated it on Thursday, because they just kind of ruined, it's not fun and as an experience. I'll mention that. I don't know. If you have other thoughts on Absalom, I'd love to hear them. Because, that's a game that I would play with everybody. Not just you, but I mean, the listener, too. I would want to play that game with everyone. My other big complaint about Absalom is that it's only 2-player co-op. Why do you have 4 characters if I can only co-op with 2 people?
Yeah.
Because... and I got to tell you...
it is a bummer. It was one of the first things that I kind of saw. I was like, oh man, cool, multiplayer in the and I was like, oh, but limited. I mean, maybe it's because screen real estate would be a fucking nightmare with 4 people.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a reason. Maybe adding too much, because everybody gets to pick a ritual or a reward at the end of every screen. So maybe with 4 people, that would just come too much for the game to handle. I get it. I understand it. But it's just, I don't know. I was excited. I would love it if you, Dale, and I could play it together. And it's not going to happen. Also, they kept saying crossplay. crossplay is not active on this game yet.
Ugh.
So like this patch comes out, completely changes the game, but a thing that they've been promising since before release, they have not been able to do yet.
Ugh,
And
bummer.
that
They
sucks,
can't even do
right?
PlayStation to Steam. It's on Steam, isn't it?
It's
Yeah,
on
it is
Steam. Yeah, we could try. I mean, like, because you could do like codes and everything like that, but everywhere it says that crossplay is not available yet. So
Jeez, that's a bummer.
yeah,
Yeah, because I have it already, but I have it on Switch. So
Yeah.
like as soon as crossplay is available, I would love to get a game in with you.
I would start a new game to go along with you, Siege, and I would be all about it. But it's just... And a lot of people are saying that the people who are complaining about the game have gotten bad RNG. You haven't gotten good builds and things like that. I've still had pretty solid builds, but like the builds that used to work before with the characters that I liked have had aspects of their builds weakened. And here's like one that's like not even written anywhere. Before, the dwarf, when he was using his gun, if you moved, he would strafe. You'd stay facing the direction that you were shooting. Now, he turns. He'll turn with it, and like that's a completely different gameplay.
Yeah, it's a different technique. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird. It's just a weird thing. I really liked the game. Before the patch, I would tell everybody who likes beat 'em up games to give it a try. After the patch, I'm less enthused about it. Which, that's just a fact. You know what a game we can play together, though, Siegen, is?
What?
Scott Pilgrim X. I think it's called Scott Pilgrim X. Is that...
Scott Pilgrim X's or something? Yeah,
what
something,
is
something like that.
I put it somewhere, right? Business, maybe? Scott Pilgrim X's. Yeah. Or maybe it's Scott Pilgrim X. I think it's Scott Pilgrim EX. Yeah. They put up a demo for Valentine's Day on Steam. I have played it. It feels really nice. I'm excited to play it as an actual game. And that comes out March 3rd. So we're not too far away from it. But I am excited for that. Like, that's one that we should probably be able to co-op on and actually get some games in. So there's more coming, right? That's the beauty of beat 'em ups. Thank you, River City Girls and Streets of Rage 4 for reinvigorating the world of beat 'em ups. You do not understand the service that you have done for like the boy that I was in the 90s. All right. Anything else you want to talk about, Siege, or you think this is good? Do you think that we got everything out there on the table for the listener of this episode?
No, man. I am excited. I'm kind of holding my breath for like Resident Evil to come out and stuff like that. One of the mods that I was diving into this week is I'm trying to get a texture pack installed properly on the Resident Evil HD remake, just because the render on those was never made for 1080p or above. Like it was made for like, even when they did the HD remake, it was like 720 that they were aiming for, but people have since put out like 4K versions of it and things like that. So I'm trying to do that, but I have to imagine, with everything that I've been reading about these mods that I've been toying with and like all of the ways that I've been installing things, I don't think it's going to affect the characters at all. So the characters are still going to be the HD, which admittedly the HD remake character models still, I think, look pretty good. Right. But that's going to be them on top of like 4K still backgrounds.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, I would love to.
It'd be fun.
I want a better computer. Like, if I wish I had a better PC to play some of the like hacks of the games that like make them more difficult and change up the rooms and everything like that. Like randomizer, like Resident Evil 2 HD2 remake. Like randomizers, like that stuff interests me. But I will say, with Resident Evil 9 coming out at the end of the month, I already have the day off. I have tickets to see Scream 7 that day. The 27th of February is going to rock. I am really toying with actually grabbing a PS5 Pro and playing through all the games again on the PS5 Pro. That is where my mind is at right now, so that I can then play that game on the PS5 Pro. So we'll see where we're at. really, I just wanted to platinum fucking, I'm sorry to swear like that, Absalom, so that I could move on from it. And now I really want to play the God of War Metroidvania game. I want to look into that. I want to see how much it is. Like, I really don't want to spend more than $20 on it. Maybe 30 would be like my thing, but like, I don't want to pay $40. And if it is $40, I'll wait. And I'm not going to look it up in the show. I feel like I've looked up too much in the show already. That said, anything else, Siege? These are your last moments to get your message out to the people before we send this one away.
No, man. We're sitting in a little bit of a lull in terms of like movies to talk about and like shit going on, and weirdly shit's quiet on the political front at the moment, other than a couple of Olympians having the gall to actually speak their mind, and fucking J.D. Vance being like, shut up or go home.
Jeez. Yeah.
It's like, when did we all forget that one of the most American things you could do is like talk shit about America? Like, it was like, that is like the point. That is why we exist as a nation, as opposed to being
that's what the freedom of speech is all about. Is the ability to be two guys sitting in your basement recording studios, recording a podcast. And not everything you say has to be complimentary, right? There are literal countries in this world where some of the stuff we said in this episode could get us killed. That's just a fact, Jack. That's just a fact, Jack. And it scares me that America rapidly rising, or I guess racing to the bottom to be like that again. It's scary, yo. It really is.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we are here and we're able to do this, and we're able to still kind of find some fun stuff to do.
Yeah,
you know what? I've got I will report back when I do this, but there's a bar in town that's called SLC Pub that is a movie bar. They've got a big giant projector screen and a whole bunch of TVs and stuff, but the big thing is that like it's just like graffiti everywhere, and they've got movie memorabilia up everywhere. And they do showings of various things. They're going to be doing a run of some interesting ones. I think I might go see A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night there.
Wow,
well,
nice.
And hang out and have a drink. But I don't know where. But I'll report back on what that place is like, because I've heard nothing but good things about it. So I got to go check it out.
You know what? I have one more thing that I want to do. I know that we've been winding it down, but I was asked a question yesterday, and I wanted to ask it of you as well. This is from listener of the show, Steve. Thank you, Hab Guy, for this. He asked me yesterday, in hockey, would you rather your team make the playoffs and get swept or not make the playoffs at all? What is your answer to that, Sejim?
No, I'd rather they make the playoffs. Like, there's no world in which I would be like, man, I wish they didn't make it this far. Like, I would want them to at least be able to say they made the playoffs.
Exactly. So the reason behind this is that someone that he works with, their local junior A team would make the playoffs in 8th place, which would put them against the first place team, whose record is currently 41-2 with a 26 game winning streak. And that person's like, I don't want to see them go and get embarrassed, but like, wouldn't it be fucking great if our local fucking 8th seeded team were able to win against the fucking Goliaths? Right?
Or even just to be seen. Well, I mean, one of the benefits of that is that your team that is in 8th place that maybe does not have as many eyeballs on it gets seen by the entire audience that's following the first place team. So like, there is also something to be said about like, this is this is a way for your team to get some recognition and get out there. And like you're saying, also, it's not a fucking given they're gonna get washed, man. Like, what the hell?
Right? Like, what a defeatist attitude. It's one of the situations where like, no, you always want your team to do the best possible. Right? And maybe it's a little bit of copium after New England like failed at the Super Bowl. They did not play a good game. But you know what I hope? I hope that not playing a great Super Bowl last Sunday means that the New England Patriots step up their game and fill in those gaps. They learn where they miss things, right? And first of all, and then the last thing, the most important thing is that regular season play and postseason play are a world of difference. Like, seriously, most postseasons, it's series. So, like, as much as that team might get swept, that 8th place team could get swept, they're going to have, like, probably 5 games if they can win, right? It's probably going to be a best of 3. And if it's a best of 3, that means that they have opportunities to play this team and learn this team, right? Maybe that team is as good as they are because they have an over-reliance on something, and when you're only playing them like every month or so, you're not seeing that weakness, right? It's just, what a weird thing to claim that you root for a team, but then not want them to lose in the first round of the playoffs. I want my team to be in the playoffs. Ideally, I want my team to win the league, but like, Jesus Christ, I don't want them to not go there because, they'll be embarrassed by such a good team. Like, how do you?
No, like, I mean, to your metaphor earlier, like, I'm not sad the Patriots were in the Super Bowl this year. I'm sad they didn't play like they were, but I'm not sad they're there. Like, I wouldn't say, man, I wish they hadn't made it.
No, I mean, and I watched that game, and I'm like, you know what? Hopefully Drake May, like, realizes he can't do it all. Because that's what, like, he was not a great leader in that last game. And rather than become discouraged, I hope he learns from it. It goes back to our whole, we're failing at failing, right? Yeah. I'd rather them not be in a situation where they can get embarrassed. I'd rather they be in that situation where they could get embarrassed and learn from that embarrassment. And I really like what you bring up, too. That's a huge stage. That's a huge stage to be playing against the number 1 team in the country. Right? Yeah. God, and think about what that does for the players, right? That, like, to say we got here, right? Doesn't matter. We're in the playoffs. There are a bunch of other teams that aren't even in the playoffs. Right? The Patriots, even though they lost last week, they're better than 30 other teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Sorry. That's just, if I don't want to keep dwelling on that one. So I wanted to make sure we got that out. So you got a little bonus say reporting near the end. If you've enjoyed the conversation, you can keep it going with us. We have a Discord server. Invitations to join are available wherever we are on social media, which as of this recording is X, formerly Twitter, and Facebook. Just navigate to our page, go to the bio info section. You'll see an invitation that you can click on to join us. We'd love to have you. If you're not on social media, which no one could blame you in the current political climate, and also social media is just kind of fucking annoying, right? I'm going to say it. I live in America. I can say whatever I want. Sejan just told me so. No, but seriously, if you're not on social media, you can get an invitation to join us in the Discord server. Just send an email to us, thesayreport@gmail.com. We can facilitate you with an invitation to join. Or if you're afraid of Discord, because you've heard some negative things about it, if you think it's a little bit too much like social media, not going to judge you there either, but you want to talk to me and Sejan, send us emails, thesayreport@gmail.com. The most important thing to remember is that if it's from me, Devin Decker, or for him, Sejan Sarwick, put our names in the subject line, and we will make sure that it is distributed appropriately to the Say reporter you want to correspond with. But remember, if you say something really interesting to Sejan, there's a chance he's going to want to talk about it on the show. And if Sejan talks about it on the show, then I'm going to hear what your things were. So just understand that anything submitted does open itself up to the possibility of being discussed on an episode of the show. That's just legal is now covered. All of that said, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Say Report. We look forward to seeing you next week. And without any further ado, William, please bring us home.
Thank you for listening to the Say Report with your host Devin Decker and Sejan Sarwick. Please follow the guys on Twitter and Facebook by searching for The Say Report, and you can always subscribe on your podcast channel so this is delivered straight to you and you can enjoy it every week. With apologies to your mother, we'll see you next time.